Welcome, everybody. Look, you know, I know some of us have seen each other more recently, but for some others, it's been quite a while. And given everything that's happened, it may be seeming even longer. I mean, if somebody reminded me the other day that, oh yes, Christmas last year, and I thought, oh my goodness me, that feels like about 5 years ago, Christmas last year, given everything that's happened, and March, the start of lockdown, and even February, January, when this thing apparently coronavirus we were hearing about, I couldn't even pronounce the name unless still knew anything about it. And now look where we are now. We're almost at the end of the year, and I can't wait to see whether there's any more surprises this year is going to bring us, I have to say. But there's still room for that. And also all the regular milestones that we normally have, not just in council calendar, but you know, whatever else we're involved in, all those milestones have sort of been blown apart, haven't they? Whether you're a Wimbledon goer or Henley goer, or what, you know, whether it's highbrow or lowbrow, you go to, all those regular things that kind of by which we structure our year have just not been there at all. And you know, sincerely, my best wishes to everybody here, and to your families, and to your friends, and so on. Who, you know, I suppose I'll never know what a sort of quite a torrid and challenging year everyone's had. But it's lovely we're getting together. My thanks to Colin, my thanks to Giacchetta in particular, for making this happen. Colin ran the trial session, and I think it's a great achievement that we've actually made the effort, and we're here on an evening like this to get together and to talk and just to see where we are and so on. And hopefully by the end of the evening, we'll all think it's been pretty well worth it. Okay. What I'd like to do, everybody, is that I know this is an AGM and it's supposed to be all very sort of, you know, like deadpan and business-like. And I know a few of us on this call have sat through enough of them in our time, some a lot more than me. Can we just break with a bit of tradition? I'd actually like to just quickly go around the room and everybody just to say a quick hello. And I know people know who some people are, but please just bear with me. Everyone just say a quick hello, and just like literally just how are you, you know, in half a minute, and let's just break the ice a little bit. And I hope you don't think that's all too cheesy, but I think given the circumstances and we've not been able to connect for so long on this, I hope I hope you'll just join in this. So if I may, Marion, would you mind just literally just say a quick hello, and you probably need no introduction, Marion, and just how are you at the moment?
Yeah. Well, hello everybody. It's nice to see you all. Some familiar names, a couple of familiar faces, but as I say, more familiar names, and some not familiar. So it's great to meet you all and see you in action.
Okay, thank you very much, Marion. And I will, please, this is in no order of importance. I'm going by the order in which the pictures are appearing on my screen here. All right, so this really is a sort of Colin, can you go next, Colin?
Yeah, hi everyone, I'm Colin. I've been part of the Twinning Association for 3 or 4 years now. And I count myself very fortunate actually, because Mohan and I scarpered from Cherbourg 2 hours before President Macron announced lockdown, which was kind of an alien concept to us. We arrived at the Marie in Cherbourg, and people were doing elbows and feet hellos, which again was alien to us as well. So yeah, it's been a very interesting summer, and it's just good to see faces and share with people, and remember our happy twinning with Cherbourg.
Yeah, it's really nice, Colin. Thank you very much indeed. Okay, can we go on to David? Hi, David. Good evening. Yeah, if you click on your mute, unmute yourself, David. That's it. There we go. That's right.
Yeah, better. I thought Colin was going to unmute, but never mind. Welcome to everybody. Nice to see everybody. It's good that we're having this AGM. I think it's important that we keep going. Otherwise, I think the whole thing will just fail eventually, because I've already seen many clubs and societies already gone to the wall because they can't keep going in the circumstances. Some people are doing meetings by Zoom. I mean, not just these types of meetings, but weekly meetings and things like that. And I think it's important that we can use this technology to be in touch with
David, everybody. Can you speak up a little? You're very faint.
All right, sorry, I'll get a bit closer.
Oh, that's better. Thank you. Thank you.
That's all I was going to say.
All right, and David, let's thank you, David. And let's pick up again that point about how often we meet going forward from this, because now everybody, after a bit of fits and starts, now everybody's quite whiz-kid on this technology now, aren't they? And let's see how quickly how often we want to do this going forward. All right, so let's keep that thought. Okay, Gina, hi, good evening.
Good evening all. Well, where do I begin? A long time back anyway, it must be 15, maybe even 20 years I've been associated with the twinning. My main interest in the early days was to help school children get across to Cherbourg on a regular basis. I've been secretary prior to Jaquetta, and I'd be sad to see it all come to an end, so I hang on in there with the rest of you. Thank you.
There we go. That's the rallying call. All right. Thanks a lot, Gina. Okay. Hi, Jaquetta. Hello. You want to say a few words?
Oh, hang on.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh no, you've gone back on mute now, Jaquetta. Can you click it again?
Okay.
That's it. We got you now. That's it. Oh no, you've gone back on mute now.
Just one click, Jaquetta, just one click.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it. I'm coming through.
There we go. You're good. You're good.
Okay. Well, I'm Jaquetta Morris. I'm secretary at the moment and have been for a few years now after taking over from Gina. I'm also do the translation side of things. That's my great interest, French language and so on. I'm the chairman and secretary of the Anglo-French Society of Poole and have been for quite a long time now. And well, I really do enjoy going to France and meeting French people. It's something I really do enjoy. And that's why I'm on the committee, I think. As I'm glad to join in with others in their efforts, to do things with Cherbourg. That's about it, I think, really. I'm trying to get the hang of Zoom. I hope I'm doing reasonably.
Okay. Just work on that mute button a little bit. Okay, maybe setting you some homework on the mute button. Okay, Jaquetta. All right, that's fine. There we go. All right.
Sorry about that.
Thank you. Right, I've got coming down, and forgive me if I'm not going in the right order. Steve Riley, our lead of the Poole Business Improvement District. Steve, warm welcome to you. Just say hi and please, and almost just a half a minute on how's the year been for you, if that can be summarised in half a minute.
Okay. Good evening, everyone, and I just want to say a huge thanks for letting Pompid to come on to tonight's meeting. I think that probably with the sort of current sort of status of a lot of businesses in the town, I think there's a unique opportunity to reinvent Poole in a number of ways, and there may well be a link with yourselves that we to exploit that further. So I suppose it is coming on to just understand what opportunities there may be to help the town. And I think equally we've got so much heritage in the town and so much funding, grant funding coming in to support projects. I think there's a big story to tell, and even if we can just get a bit of it going, it'll be great for the town. Thank you.
That's really nice, Steve. Thank you very much, and you're most welcome. Very, very welcome indeed. Okay, thank you. And can we go to Sophie, nay, Marcus? Marcus Andrews. Hi, Marcus. Good evening.
Hello, hi there. Yeah, Councillor Marcus Andrews. I'm one of the sort of council reps on this. Last year I did have a holiday in France. Obviously, not this year. Personally, I've just come out of self-isolation after 2 weeks having to be at home because Sophie caught COVID-19, and therefore the rest of the family had to stay in. And my biggest thrill of the week was putting the bin out and bringing the bin back. We couldn't leave. Lots of takeaways being delivered. So, I'm obviously looking forward to perhaps next year things being slightly a bit more relaxed, whereby hopefully we can go to France, hopefully, freely. Obviously, situation with the ferries is interesting, which obviously might be something to be discussed at a committee meeting at some stage. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay, and thank you very much, Marcus. And you know, just well, best wishes through the isolation. Just well, okay, you finished it now, but okay, thank you. All right, next one, nickname of Charlie Squires. Just say hi from Charlie.
Hello, everyone. I'm Charlie, the co-opted youth representative, and the PCTA is something that I find of great interest and something that I hope will be continued in the next generations because it's very important for both towns.
Charlie, sorry, is there any chance we can see you? It's nice to hear from you. We'd love to see you.
I can do, however, the broadband here is very poor. That I'll probably be disconnected.
Oh, all right. Okay, stay as you are.
Thank you.
Okay, do continue. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying that the PCTA is very important because we obviously have ties going back quite a few years. And this is something that my grandparents were even part of, with connections to the rowing club, and it's just something that I have a great interest in.
Okay, good. Well, Charlie, you're very, very welcome. I know actually you've just you've been to previous meetings with us, and you know your presence and your engagement is really welcome indeed. Okay. Wonderful.
Thank you, Mayhem.
No, that's all the little, if I'm trusting the technology. Is there anyone I've missed, please? Please shout out.
I've just given the details to Peter, the treasurer. So I'm just waiting to admit him. So he'll be due at any moment.
All right, then. Okay. Well, when he comes in, and we'll find a convenient moment to sort of.
While we're waiting, could you just repeat Steve Riley's post or his connection, please, with Paul? I didn't catch it right at the beginning.
Well, I tell you what, I know it, but Steve, can you come in there?
Yeah. So Steve Riley, I'm a director with Poole Bid, but currently also looking after day-to-day operations for the bid as well.
Okay. And Gina, if you're not familiar with BID, BID stands for Business Improvement District. So. Right. What that means is it's actually been in operation 4 years. I mean, my own view, I think it's a wonderful thing, and just I'm sure Steve does too. And just what it means is literally for the zone, it is based on a zone which is at the top end, right from the lighthouse, just about a little bit further than that, right down to the quay end. It's a representative body for all the traders in that area, all the businesses, not just retail, but all types, and literally to sort of represent their interests, put on a series of events, marketing and various other things. And Steve, forgive me, I'm not doing it justice with this description, but literally to further sort of the interests of the area, both commercially for the business owners and also for those who come and visit as well. And with really quite a tough hand, I think Steve and his predecessors have done a tremendous job there, but of course there's plenty to do as well. Okay, so just all right. And actually, Steve, when we come to it, maybe there'll be more time to say more. Okay. All right. So I've not missed anybody else.
Sorry, could I just add to that the Poole Bid had offered to host us as part of one of Cherbourg's visits in 2019 in the early summer, but because of logistics and the ferry times and weather, that trip wasn't possible. So. We have already made contact and asked if they could give us a talk about the bid and show us around some of the projects. So that we do have a relationship already that people might not remember.
Okay. Okay. Good. All right. Now,
Peter's just trying to join us.
He is he? Okay, let's crack on if we can, please, and then when Peter appears, we can bring him in. Okay, so I'm just keen. Want to be respectful of people's time now. Let's get through this. So, can I go to Jaquetta, please? In fact, sorry, let me just check one further thing. Marion, can I ask, are you with us for all of the meeting, or are you with us for just the beginning of the meeting? Because obviously, what I'll do is I'll come to you first, if that's the case.
Well, depending how long it goes on, probably all of it.
Okay, right. What I'll do, right, you give me the right incentive then to not dither around. Okay, I'll try and make this worth your while then. No, thank you. Absolutely delighted. Thank you.
Will I have a chance to say something at some point? Because I didn't use my time initially very well, and I have got something I want to say.
Definitely, Mary. So what I'll do is, let's do this, please, is I'll do the apologies for absence, and then actually what I'd like to do is then actually bring you in after that, if I may, so you can do a keynote address, please, to us. Is that all right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, let's do item number 1 then, please. Can we just have welcome and apologies for absence? I feel a feeling I've gone on mute.
No, you haven't.
Okay. Okay, Jaquetta, yeah. Could I have apologies for absence, please?
Need to. Yeah.
That's it. I think we've got you, Jaquetta. You
Hello,
coming through?
Yeah,
That's right.
I've got Les. Les wasn't able to attend. That's the only one that I've had so far.
Right. Okay. Then just apologies for Les Burden. Okay, that's noted. Okay. And I think let's cover the second point as well. I think we've got a little few items together. Minutes of the annual general meeting, this time last year, 14th of October 2019. Again, thanks, Jaquetta, for sending them through. I'm just looking at my other screen on the minutes there. So I'll just take this, please. I'll assume people have had the chance to go through. There's not a huge number of pages. Is there anything in the minutes that anyone wants to raise? And if not, we can sign those off.
Mohan, would you like me just to share my screen so that people who haven't had the minutes can just scan, or?
Well, actually, can I do this just because Jaquetta, I think, kindly forwarded it, emailed it to everyone.
Oh, okay.
Just for the flow, but thank you anyway, Colin. Can I just ask if everyone has seen a copy of it? If you haven't, please let me know. But if you have, and can we take those as read?
I propose we accept them. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Jean. Can I have a seconder for the minutes?
I will second, David.
Okay, thank you. Proposed by Gina, seconded by David. Then I call the minutes as approved. Okay, thank you everyone. Okay, so let's go to, please. Right, item 3 is the amendment to the Constitution submitted by David. All right, obviously that will have a little bit of discussion. So actually what I'd like to do then is, please, at this point, is break into the agenda. And can I invite our Mayor of Poole, Marion, please, to say a few words to us. Marion, please, the floor's yours.
Yes, thank you. I'm absolutely delighted to be here because soon after I became mayor, which was May 2019, I'm on my second year for reasons which must be obvious to everyone, because nothing much is happening this year. And I met Les Burden at an event, and he said it's traditional for the mayor to be involved with the twinning, and would I be happy to be? And I said, yeah, I'd love to be. I've been involved with twinning societies in the past, other places we've lived. And I heard no more at that stage. And about this time of year last year, I was with Councillor Peter Miles at a meeting, and he said, where were you the other night? And I said, nowhere. Where was I supposed to be? And he said, twinning. And I said, I didn't know anything about it. And I gathered you were expecting me to be here, but it was all news to me. So I obviously queried it and was told that twinning was now a BCP function, not a Charter Trustees Pool function. And I thought, don't think that's right, don't agree with that. So I did a bit of research and found that among the Charter Trustees in the country, and there are only about 17 places for Charter Trustees, so we're a very select bunch. For instance, Bath, twinning is quite clearly under the Charter Trustees. So I marched off to officers and said, look, this is what I found. And they said a bit sheepishly, yeah, we've actually found the same thing. So apparently when the councils were coming together, they were told by civil servants, I think, that twinning had to be a top level council function. And they've now found that actually what is the truth is that any new twinning arrangements have to be the top level function, but any existing ones continue with the town, village, community that it originally applied to. So at last I've had a chance to come and say hello, and so thank you very much. And I would have loved to be involved, if you were doing any activities, but I'm not sure that there's going to be anything between now and May when I hand over to my successor. But here's hoping.
All
So
right.
that explains my absence a year ago and my presence now. So thank you very much.
Okay. No,
And I wish you all very, very much the best, because I know how, you know, twinning can be a really valuable activity for communities getting together, for children, for schools. There's so much to learn from each other and to share and to learn about other cultures and other traditions and other ways of life, and, you know, having fun and enjoyment together.
That's it. No, I mean, well, that's why we're here. That's why we're here, and we're missing it all. We are missing it all. And you know, I've not been doing this long, Marion, but I've very, very happily took this, and it's been just a year of kind of, you know, just sort of sitting around fidgeting. And I'm sure the people in this group would, you know, really want to be doing anything but that, really. So thank you for your address, and just. It's you know, your presence here tonight, Marion, is really, really welcomed, and thank you for making the time on this. And just, I think that connection to the council, and, you know, if I'll be honest, it's almost like I didn't, you know, I've been a councillor for 5 years. I probably didn't appreciate how strongly felt within this group and more broadly is the connection between this association and the council, and then of course our counterparts across the channel and with their local authority as well, and sort of how far back that goes. And I'm not just talking about years, I'm talking about decades, of course, and just how keenly that's felt with some of the more senior members of our sort of you know, our citizenship here in Poole, and not just in Poole, of course, as well. So
Can I just say, just for those who can't, well, I mean, nobody can see it because I'm not sitting in the right position.
No.
Just to prove that I really am the mayor, I'm wearing my badge. I can't wear the chains, but I can wear the badge. So this is my proof of office.
There we are. Okay, right. So that's it there. So the authentication has happened. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, thank you.
May I ask a question, or leave it till later? I don't mind which.
Well, David, is it, if it's relevant for now, David, please go ahead, and if it's okay, Marion.
It's related to what Marion's just said.
Okay.
For 2 years or more, we've been asking BCP or someone who we're supposed to be reporting to and who we're under within the new organisation. I think Marion has clarified that in some format, but that doesn't mean to say we still have information that we need to pass back through somehow. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but I'm happy to hear what you've just said, because that is a really, really important piece of information that you've given us.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
I'm still asking the question. We're just out on a limb if we're not careful, and we should be reporting to someone.
Yeah. Okay.
To report to the mayor if that's the case.
Yeah. I'd probably need to. Well, I definitely need to clarify that. But it could be that you would report to the charter trustees.
Right.
Who are the councillors?
They only meet once a year, don't they?
No. We meet at least 3 times a year, minimum 3, and it's a little bit more than that. We're actually meeting tomorrow, strangely enough.
That sounds very positive, what you just said.
The charter trustees, for those who don't know, it's all the councillors of BCP who represent any part of the former Poole borough.
Yeah.
So we've got some people who you would initially say, oh, they're Bournemouth councillors, but because their ward covers some of Bournemouth and some of Poole, as was, they count as Poole charter trustees. And equally, someone like Marcus, who we all think of as a Poole councillor, is actually a Bournemouth charter trustee as well, because a bit of his ward goes into Bournemouth, the old Bournemouth.
Is the mayor the chairperson of this trustees?
Yes.
So we could come through you or whoever, and could you nominate who the person would be to make contact, please?
Well, yes, yeah, and I mean, Marcus obviously and Moham as well are both charter trustees, and so is Pete Miles. So you've already got 3 people who are cross-linked.
But we haven't had any contact with the charter trustees for the last 2-3 years.
Okay.
Well, we've only existed since May last year.
Okay.
But this is something that I'll clarify with officers. If you want, I mean, do you want to give a formal report every so often, or I mean, you know, Marcus or Mohan or Pete could do it on your behalf? I don't know. What would you like? What would you like is the main thing.
We should minute what you've said, obviously, and follow that up and see where we go. That seems to be a sensible situation. Right. Marcus and or Mohan, which either and yourself. Now we know what we're supposed to do. Makes it easier.
Right.
Okay. Good. Okay. Thank you, David. Yeah, that's fine. Fine.
Chiquita, have you minuted that, please? Because that's very important.
Okay. All right. If you've got that, Chiquita, let's move on then. And just for okay, I've lost Marion's pick. Okay, fine. Just Marion, thank you again. And obviously now you're welcome to stay, Marion, throughout the meeting, or if you have other commitments or whatever, please feel free to sort of log off if you need to disappear. Okay.
I'll stick around for a while anyway.
Okay. Thank you very much. All right, let's get on to item number 3, please. Amendment to the Constitution submitted by David. Thank you, David, for the work on this. So I'm just looking over here so I can call it up on my other screen here. And David, would you like to lead this item, please?
I'll try to, but Colin, can you actually put it up or not?
Yeah, I can share the screen. Have you got it, Chiquita? Have you got it, Chiquita, on your desktop, or shall I?
If you could, Colin, please. Just thank you.
If you've got handy, Colin, I appreciate it.
Okay, there we go.
That's fine. You just make that sort of as big as you can, please, Colin.
You make it as big as you can.
Yeah. I was just talking to Peter, who seems to, for some reason, dropped out of the meeting. So.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
Okay.
So the gist of this was to remove words like the borough of Poole, basically, and add into it some slight changes in the wording. So what we're trying to do is to make sure that it's, as we now heard from the mayor, we're concentrating on the situation where we got a charter between Cherbourg and Octeville and ourselves, and I've added that into D, as you see there, to honour the charter between our two towns. I think that's important to have that in the Constitution. Further down from that, we have the chairman and the vice chairman who are nominated from BCP, but they are councillors within what we just described. It's a good situation there. So they're there. And the third BCP council representative of the ward in Poole. So what we just said is Poole rather than the borough of Poole. Right. It goes down a little bit further. This is not really to do with Poole, but casual vacancies can be filled by agreement of the management committee. That we didn't have in before.
Mm-hmm.
So can you go down a bit more, please?
Oh, sorry.
That's.
What number do you want to be at?
I don't know. Just keep going. There's some changes. The other rest is not changes. So
actually, can you stay on number 4 for a minute, please? Can you just go back to number 4? If you don't mind, David, let's just take these as we scroll through. Do you know, I do apologise that I didn't spot this when I went through this before. Actually, do you know, on the first line, membership should be open to all persons who live in Poole. I don't know whether to sort of flag that or not. Is that customary? Is that in any way restrictive or something? You know, we might have people who feel passionate about Poole that are just outside the boundary, for instance, or does it not matter? Should we just leave that in?
Personally, I think it's important just to put Poole, because that probably was borough of Poole before.
Right, but so even still, basically someone who lives in Poole,
yeah.
I just wonder whether or not, because I mean, if there's a quiet and people think it's all right, we'll leave it in. It's not a big point I'm raising.
I would support leaving it in. I know I've written it, but I think it's important that we just do that. And maybe when we get involved with the trustees, like Marion said, we can maybe have better words at some point if necessary. But I think that that helps at this stage.
All right, okay. Well, if if nobody else feels if everyone else feels that's all right, let's leave it in. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Do carry on.
That ties up with the next change, which is corporate membership shall be registered. What's it called? Open to organisations and businesses operating within Poole.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense to me. Yes.
Yeah. So what we're saying is that as long as you say you want to be part of the twinning, you can be, but we need to know who these people are.
Okay.
That's
right.
the situation. But that's an important part, as I heard what was saying earlier on by Steve Riley, which I think will help. It's in the Constitution, and I think that's very useful to be. So the last ones down the bottom there, not the last ones, but some of the changes there. Meetings and other general meetings by the honourary sector by informing this is where a newspaper circulating widely in the area or such other means of communicating with persons within Poole as the management committee think fit. Now there, the people before, it said that you have to tell the local paper and you had to make adverts in it and things like that. Well, the Echo, for one, never want to put any information about the twinning, and secondly, the Poole Dorset Herald, of course, is not really functioning correctly there. So what I'm trying to do, use, I'm sure Colin will agree, as we have done this one, used electronic forms of telling people that the general meetings and general meetings are covered in this situation. Will we go down a bit further? Please, come, another one there. The annual chairman's report shall be circulated to the section within the borough, within the BCP council responsible for twinning. Now we know who that might be. We might need to change that. Or can we leave it like that? And if it's the what we've just said, the people that you described, is that good enough?
Yeah, personally, I think it's good enough, David.
Yes. Okay.
I do, and if anybody disagrees, please.
I think we'll need to confirm that the Charter Trustees is the appropriate body. I'm sure we are, but I think rather than writing it in at this stage, I think we need to confirm it.
Left open, yes, and just in case it changes. Now you told us, so I think that would be better.
Just semantics, David. Should that be responsible for twinning rather than to twinning? Are they responsible to us or for?
Oh, I see. Yes, I think you're right. Responsible for twinning. Yes, I agree. We need to change that somehow. Is it in a word? I'm not sure. I think it is.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Peter. Welcome.
Good. I've got the sign right there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, welcome, Peter.
Is that really necessary that the report circulated? I mean, as effectively mandatory. It was in the Constitution, it's mandatory, but it's left out. That doesn't stop it happening.
It makes sure that whoever the people are that are looking after us or we report to get something annually. And they know what we've done through that year, if at all, anything. But I'm open to discussion on that. Okay,
I'm happy it stays in, and if you don't mind, I'd rather we didn't sort of get into a discussion on it just for the sake of getting through our items. But I'm happy it stays in, and obviously there's an onus on me. I'm happy with that. Okay.
It's an annual report to whoever's in looking after us, and
that will be fine.
Yeah. And I think the next one was about the quorum. Just chairman with a capital C. And the last one was the treasurer shall maintain a bank account in the name of Poole-Cherbourg Twinning Association. Now, it never said anything about that before. It says,
can I just check, Peter, is this all right from the treasurer's point of view? Is this
isn't that what we've got?
Okay.
Isn't that what we have already?
It's not in there at the currently.
No, but what I mean is that that's the name of the bank account, Poole-Cherbourg Twinning Association.
Yes, but it shall maintain a bank account. In other words, it's asking the treasurer to look after a bank account in the name of Poole-Cherbourg Twinning Association.
Yeah, I mean that surely is automatic.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right. So this is all right then, is it?
All checks shall be signed by 2 people.
Okay. Again, can I check with Peter? Is that all right?
Well, the problem with that is if bank transfers are to be made, checks are a bit tricky at the moment. People go into banks, and there ought to, I think, be. I've never wanted it before, but bearing in mind the different ways of paying now, it would be far easier if we could do banking online.
Okay. Well, how it sounds to me, sorry if I may short circuit this, how it sounds to me is if we're doing electronic payments anyway, then the statement's redundant because we do electronic the way we can. Just if there are checks, and literally if we do still pay some things by check, a diminishing number, is the point about 2 signatories a problem, Peter?
No, not at all. Not at all.
All right. So this is all right then.
But if we're going to do electronic banking, we're going to need to set it up.
Okay, yeah, understood. Thank you.
And therefore the treasurer would need permission to actually go ahead and set it up.
Right, okay. Well, we'll deal with that separately, Peter, if that's all right. And I don't think it needs sort of come into this. Thank you. Okay.
Keep going down. I think that's it, I think.
All right, all right. So, well, thank you for doing this work, David.
I would recommend that we accept what we've just seen in front of us, and we move forward. Okay,
then. So with the slight amendments, I think Colin proposed one earlier on. Yes. With those, David, if you've kindly noted those, with those amendments, can I have a proposer for this, please? I think, well, David.
Yes, happy to propose and suggest that we run it for the forthcoming year, and then the amendments that are needed after a year's dry run on it, that we make changes in 12 months' time.
Okay,
Gina
excellent.
Proposing.
Yep. So Gina proposing. Can I have a seconder, please? If there's nobody, I'll be happy to second it if I'm able to. Okay, Colin. Yeah, Colin will second it. Okay, thank you, Colin. All right, good. Well, thank you, David. That's fine. That's in the can. Okay, and if you can just literally, whoever's got editorial control, tighten up the red bits, make them black, and the typos, and we're good to go. That's baseline. Yep. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, if we go to please item number 4, which is annual report of the chairman, and I didn't circulate anything in writing to you. I'd like to just go through a few points with you, and I'll keep it brief so that we can get to the other sections and other people can have the chance to speak as well. It's coming up to a year of being chairman for this. Goodness me, it doesn't feel like a year because I kind of feel that, you know, I've in a sense not done much, but in my defence not had, you know, it's not been easy to sort of do much over this past year. Came in around, it literally was a year ago, end of October, start of November. And I think what you might remember is we had those socials. I was keen to get those off the ground, and we were in the Hoy, I think, a couple of times, and I think we went somewhere else. I can't quite remember. And remember the good old days when we could actually do social gatherings, of course. And then we were in the, and I remember at least in the back of the Hoy and sort of plotting the future and things that we might get done. And our biggest worry at that time, of course, was the weather, because we were having some gusty weather at the time, and the Barflow was sailing regularly. You know, it's round trip every day or just about every day. And who would have thought? And roll forward a little bit to, and it was, of course, it was lovely to meet you all at that time, of course, and then sort of, then come to December, and of course we were trying to get, I think, Muriel and Charmaine over for the visit, and I think we had, I think Gina particularly were working hard on that one, and Jaquetta as well, of course, to get them over here and to lay on things for them and so on. And I'm still grateful, you know, for the work done in trying to make that happen. And unfortunately, it didn't, because I think when finally they were due to come, and I think the weather was against us, and either the ship didn't sail or it was kind of too rough for them to sort of feel comfortable sailing over. So that trip didn't happen. And then we thought, well, okay, let's us go over there then. And at one point it was David and Colin and myself, all trying to plan feverishly to get over there. And you know, I must say it's kind of amazing it actually happened, really, because I think we're first looking at the end of January, mid-January, February, and then we were hearing about this COVID something. What the hell was its name? And in the end, I think, as Colin said at the beginning, I think literally it was the sort of the final week of the Barfleur where we actually got out there and got back in a day to meet our counterparts over there. What would I say about that visit? Well, first of all, you know, thank you. Colin was great company going over there as well. And I know, David, thank you as well. You weren't able to sort of finally make the visit, I think, because the weather was quite rough for the crossing. But we went over there, and believe me, they couldn't have been more nice to us. I was bowled over, and you know, such hospitality. And I think it's worth dwelling on the fact that, you know, against the spectre of things like Brexit, and of course, you know, we're not the only ones who read the press in this country about sometimes the way the press can be and how it's portrayed. And I have to admit, I was thinking about that as I went over on the ferry, which is, you know, even as nice as they are, I wonder what kind of reception we'll get, particularly at this point in time. And of course, January was when this was sort of, there was one of those Brexit deadlines that meant that sort of things were even more fractious, intergovernmental between nations. And it was on my mind. And when we arrived, they couldn't, as I say, have been nicer. And Muriel was there, Anna Peake was there, Ophelia, all the stuff was there. Charmaine, of course, greeted us as we came off the ferry and was kind of a wonderful sort of, you know, aid chaperone translator for us throughout. Although I think we got by, Colin, didn't we? We got by pretty well, just, you know, lip reading and sort of tuning into the others. And after having a presentation from them and just a chat about lots and lots of things, they had already arranged for a number of organisations from the artistic side, from the sports side, from the fire service side, from the educational side, who were all there. They all came in at a certain time as a certain forum, and I think Colin and I did our best to stay on our feet and literally get round and meet literally all of them. So it was very worky in that sense, but as enjoyably worky as can be to meet them all. And what a lovely time we had. I'm you know, somewhat proud. I think, you know, we you know, continued some very good relations there with them. And what we've got is, of course, from then, a number of contacts, a number of emails and so on, which actually, in a way, we've kept going since then with them, even though we've not been able to make contact. Okay, so then we came back, and believe me, I'm nearly to an end now, I'll try not to drone on too much, is that we came back, and then, of course, the drawbridge went up, and the ferries stopped working. Our French counterparts went into their elections, not just for Cherbourg, but regionally as well. Very pleased, of course, that Anna got re-elected and Muriel got re-elected to their positions. Anna is still with us in the twinning activity, and I remember having a nice chat with Anna, and I know some of us have met Anna before, and she obviously has done a heck of a lot there, not just twinning with us, but actually with Australia, with one, two of the African nations as well. You know, we might sort of, what's the word, look back quite enviously about the amount of staff they have there and the budget they have in that council. So, you know, Marcus and Pete and Marion, maybe something we can try and eke out, see what we can do here in BCP. But they, like for like, they do have more money than we've got. But they put on a lot and they manage a lot out there in terms of the twinning. Okay, but we, what was I going to say? We came back from them with the seeds of many ideas that we could possibly carry forward. But I'm not saying any of these are new ideas, because they're ideas that probably already people like, you know, Gina, Colin, others, David, you've already been working with in the past. And probably it's just a kind of a reminder to us that those ideas are still as relevant as ever. Okay, so just roll forward to now. People are still there. I've stayed in touch with Charmaine. Muriel I was in touch with. I think Muriel has now moved job. But Anna, I think through Ophelia, you know, Anna's keen to get back in touch with us as well. They're all still there. And that's a really, really nice sign. They're all still there for us. going forward, I'll only make a quick comment going forward because I know others are going to speak as well. Is that we know ferry-wise the Cotentin, which is for ferry only, for freight only. Sorry, the freight only is going to appear in January, and then we're still looking at something like March, April for passenger traffic on. I think it will be the Barfleur, but March, April at the earliest for that to resume. So whatever we plan, anything face to face will realistically we're looking at basically spring next year. Okay, so I'm very happy to take any questions at this stage, or if you want, hold them now. We can pick them up at the end when everybody else has had a chance to chat as well. Okay, but thank you everyone. That's my report.
That sounded very good in actual fact, the report. I know we had the actual visit report, and you've added a few more things to it now. And again, that if we know we have passed the constitution, then maybe we should report that back to the people now that are looking after us.
Yeah. Okay, noted,
Please,
David.
if you can, because I think it's important that they are aware that there are still things happening, and that we still need support.
That's fine. Okay, yeah, we'll do that, David. Thank you for that. Okay, are there any other questions or queries anyone's got with what I've said?
Well, I'm afraid there was one omission of your meeting with Charmaine.
Okay.
She had done some shopping for me, and she did not take the box of fizzy drink that was meant to come back to me, along with a bottle of pastis. So well done on the meeting, but very disappointing that my box of wine didn't arrive, and it's still in Charmaine's garage.
All right. Yes, and in case you're thinking, did she give it to me and it didn't make its way to you, Gina? No. Colin and I are clean.
Okay.
But yeah, actually, mind you know what? She did ask, could I take out for her, what is it, the radio times, the TV times?
That's right, a bottle of salad cream.
No, I didn't take the salad cream, but it was the TV times, and it was something else, and I forgot what it was as well. And I'm thinking, surely they have the news agents over there. But anyway, there we go. Oh, I'll tell you what, she asked for a new Brexit 50p, the ones that had just been minted in January, and I couldn't get my hands on one. Anyway, sorry, the trivia. Okay, but thank you everybody. All right, I'll move on, and if there's anything else you think of, you can always ask me at the end. Okay, so presentation item 5, if this is all right. Presentation of the annual accounts, please. And Peter, can I hand? Oh, sorry, Marion, did you have a question? Sorry.
Not a question. I'm just saying I'm got to leave the meeting now. I wanted to hear your report, to hear what's been happening, but I'm afraid I've got to go now.
All right. No, thank you so much for joining us, Marion, and absolutely welcome anytime.
I'm so glad I could come at last.
Okay, then. Okay,
Goodbye,
thank you very
everybody.
much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay, so Peter, would you like us to lead us through this?
Yeah. Do you have a copy of the accounts?
Yeah, just
No.
coming.
Okay.
Right. Well, there's not a lot there. We've had 2 years of next to nothing of activity, and if you can move on, please, to the back page.
Can you put it more in the centre of the screen, Colin? I think we is that possible? Just drag it to the right on the screen. That's it.
If you could just scroll down to the general fund.
Yeah, and can you make it bigger a bit? Make it wider, just so the figures are bigger for everybody. That's it. Wonderful. Okay.
Well, you can see that there's next to nothing this year that we're looking at. Bank interest, £1. The Dorset Twinning subscription, 60. So we've got a deficit of 59. We weren't much better last year, as you can see from the comparatives. So basically what we have is 59 lost to come off with the accumulated fund brought forward. There is no income or expenditure on the bursary funds. So if we move to the next sheet, scroll up to the balance sheet, we'll see the statement of affairs. We've got the bank balance.
Yes, yeah.
We've got the bank balance at the top, 3138, which of course includes the bursary funds, which are separate really from the funds that are available for running the association. The general fund at the beginning of the year was standing at 2368. The 59 comes off of that to bring it down to 2309. The bursary funds are the same as brought forward, going down. So the overall balance, including the bursary funds, is 3139, which is the balance brought forward at 1st of April 19, 3198, less the 59 excess of expenditure in the year. So that's where we stand. Nothing really I can say on that, except we're not hemorrhaging funds as fast as we were.
Okay, so we basically got two, three general fund. About 800 comes from the bursary, the contributors there, the three of them. Okay, right, good. Thank you, Peter. Any questions? Any observations? Anyone at all?
Well, it's pretty obvious that we've got 2 years to go, and then we'll have no money at all. Even with this year where we haven't actually spent much.
Yeah, if even on the comparators from the previous year, yes, the deficit was nearly £1,000 in that year, and even if we go along the same lines, we've got 3 years of funds left. Well, less than 3 years. It'll only be 2 years because of the bursary fund being separate.
Hey, sorry, say that last bit again. I lost you. It's 3 years, but 2 years if what? Sorry, Peter.
With 3,000 in there, you'd think it would be 3 years on the basis of 1,000 deficit each year. But that figure includes the bursary fund on the accounts. So really, there's only 2,000 roughly, or just over 2,000 on the general fund that we can use. So
right,
2 years, two years will of
nothing.
The 2019 figures would wipe it out.
Okay, so just tell me the bursary fund money we can't spend.
Well, we can spend it on bursaries to send young people to France.
Right. Okay. Excuse me. So just for that. Okay.
Inward hospitality.
Okay. All right. Well. Okay. Yeah, all right. If I may, I'd include that in the sort of the 3,000, but I accept the point. It's ring fenced. You know, it's ring fenced for certain things. Okay. Because we may choose. I'll be glad if that starts up again, and we do use the money for those things. So. Okay, so, I understand it's ring fence then. Okay. Well, thank you, Peter. Is there anything else anyone wants to add on this?
But it seems that we need to do some fundraising, serious fundraising to keep going.
Well, we need fundraising.
Otherwise,
what we need is the ideas.
There's no way we can keep going.
Okay, right. Right, I'm not going to let us get any negative at all about this. All right, first of all, the money is still there. All right, it's not gone off, it's not perished or anything like that. The money is still there, right? So given that we've had a year where we've not been able to do anything, the money situation has not surprised us. The money is all still there. We've barely used any of it, okay? Which is good, which is reassuring. I think going forward for the rest of this meeting, I think it's good, not just tonight, going forward is, you're right, David, fundraising, but of course we'll raise funds to the extent that we've got good ideas, good positive ideas, which engage people, and especially those people who've got money who can contribute some to us. All right, so that's the forward-looking view. Yeah,
well, I think
but I agree we do need to
fundraise. Currently with some of the pool people.
Can you speak up, David, please?
Sorry, yeah, sorry. With some of the people like Sunseeker and other people that could be supportive to us, rather than running a raffle or something like that. That just won't bring us the right sort of funding in.
Okay, all right.
So
well,
I think we need to address that in the top. Even when we're not doing anything else, we can still address that.
Okay, all right. Well, I've got a feeling we'll come back to this subject at the end when we think of what ideas might we have, and therefore what money do we need to fund it. Okay. I
think this is a matter for the management committee meeting that follows.
Yeah, good point.
Not an
AGM
AGM matter.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. All right. Any final questions on the accounts? Okay.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
do we have to agree them and second them, please?
yes, I was going to come to that. That's right. So please, do I have a proposer for the accounts?
The same one.
Okay. Okay.
Because
Gina
I'm the other signatory.
Okay. Okay. Fine. And a seconder, please.
I'll do it again if necessary.
All right. Okay. David. Okay. Proposed by Gina, seconded by David. Okay. Good. And thank you again, Peter, for your work on this. Good.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we've done the presentation of the annual accounts. Item 6 then, the election of the management committee. All right, so let's we'll go through item by item, but just let's just go at a good clip. All right. Now for the election of the chairman. All right. Well, all I can say to you is I'm very, very happy to continue. I suppose at some point, you know, if people insist, I can dive out of the meeting if that's the proper thing for me to do. But I mean, is that necessary? I'm happy to stay as chair. Is there anybody else? And please, you know, let's do this properly. Is there anybody else who would like to nominate themselves, or would somebody like to nominate somebody else to be chairman?
The chairman from the Constitution shall be a serving councillor.
Yeah, okay, yeah, but we obviously have more in this. Just if, all right, okay. If there's none, sorry, this doesn't feel quite right, the right way of doing this, but just if there's no if there's no alternative view, I'm happy to continue if that's all right with everybody. Okay.
And thank you for holding the fort.
Mr. Chairman, again.
Okay. Yeah.
Marcus Andrews, I'm happy to propose you again as chairman.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Marcus. Is there a seconder at all, please, just for the record?
I'm happy to second.
Okay. Who is that, please?
Charlie.
Charlie. Okay. Thank you, Charlie. Okay. Good. Good. Okay. For vice chairman, current vice chairman is Councillor Peter Miles, and all right now. I wasn't able to find contact Peter before the meeting. I just now let's see. Let's think what to do here, because we don't have Peter on tonight's call, and I don't quite know Peter's status in terms of wanting to continue or not, or able to continue.
Well, would Marcus be prepared to take the vice chair? Then Peter Miles could be the third member of, or the third member of the representative of the BCP.
Yeah, yeah. Forgive me, Marcus. I didn't realise this situation would come up, and just I thought Peter would be here this evening. So what we can do, Marcus, I suppose unusually, is rather than put you in this position now, if you'd like to say yes, you would like to be the vice chair, then please do. On the other hand, if you think, well, no, you know, you didn't realise this was going to come up, and just you'd like to have a think about it, then we'll find a way of accommodating that.
Well, I think because Pete Miles hasn't said he won't, and he obviously was told, like I was told, that the meeting was on. We've all had the email. Yeah, you know, I would here, in his absence, propose him as vice chair. Obviously, it could be something that could be dealt with in a later situation if he doesn't want to carry on as vice chair.
Fine.
Then I can chair the meetings if he's not around and you're not around.
Okay. Okay.
But you know, for continuity, you know, I would think leave him penciled in or inked in as the vice chair, and you know, we can deal with it, you know, if necessary.
That sounds fine to me. That's okay then. So I think if you can propose Peter Miles as vice chair, I will second it. Pete Miles as vice chair. So mindful he's not here, but we'll go with that. And then if we can confirm Marcus as third representative, and obviously we'll just monitor that situation as we go forward. Okay.
Yeah,
I hope that's all right with everybody.
Yeah, the third man,
okay.
Is it?
Okay, thank you. All right. Honorary secretary. Oh, goodness me. The glue. Okay. And at this point, Jaquetta, I would ask, do you sort of with all your marbles, etc., be happy to continue as our honorary secretary?
I hope so.
Yes, I would. Yes.
All right, thank you. And okay, can we have a proposer, please, for Jaquetta's honorary secretary?
Yes.
Gina will propose.
Okay, then. I think, Jaquetta, everyone was piling in there to propose you. All right. So, Colin, if you can pop down a couple of names and the voices you heard there, please. All right. Thank you very much indeed, Jaquetta. Okay. Honorary Treasurer. All right. Again, Peter, you all right to continue?
Yeah, I'm all right, I think.
Wonderful.
Well done,
Oh, wonderful. Okay, okay. And I'm very happy to propose Peter as Honorary Treasurer. Can we have a seconder, please?
I second.
Okay, David Warhurst seconding. Okay. And right, with just going further down then, okay, Publicity Officer, Social Media Coordinator. Oh God, forgive me on this one. Who's? I'm so sorry. I'm someone's going to garrot me on this one. Who's formerly had that role?
Oh, Colin, how could we have forgotten that you were the glue that holds our social media together, Colin?
So, excuse me, you know, I knew Colin's culture and so on, all of that, whatever, because Colin is very cultured. Sorry, Colin, it's only the titles I got wrong. I better stop digging here, shouldn't I, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Colin, are you in sound mind, willing to carry on as our publicity social media coordinator?
Well, don't quote me, but I wouldn't say that I was in sound mind at the moment. But yeah, I have all my faculties in place, and happy to maintain that position.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, then I'd love to propose Colin. Anybody like to second Colin?
Yeah.
All right, all right. Okay, okay. The next one down, the fundraising coordinator. Now, actually, with all these positions, sorry, just before we get to the other ones, okay, what we're saying is people in position and proposed, seconded, and so on. But obviously, maybe I should have said this at the beginning. These kind of things are fluid. I'm glad we've got these titles and these themes and so on. But obviously, some of this will be dependent on what the priorities are that we set going forward as well. All right. So fundraising coordinator, again, can you just double check who formerly has had that role?
Well, I took it on with, this is a good sign, isn't it?
Mel Huddy.
With Mel Huddy,
yeah,
really, yeah. To just perhaps steer him in possible directions, because I guess, well, we did sense that Mel was perhaps not as capable as we perhaps would have wished, and we just thought that we would form a small working party, which Mel would be part of, and perhaps as a small group, which was going to be Janet Walton, myself, and Mel, we could move things along a little bit. And that's how it was left, I think, at the last meeting.
Right.
Jaquetta knows more about Mel's health, I think, probably, than the rest of us. But he was struggling mentally, I think, is the kindest way to say it.
I think just putting my 5 eggs in here, that Steve may be useful, be able to help, and Charlie Squires was very helpful in trying to organise something for last year, which would have brought us a lot of money, but we couldn't do it this year. In actual fact, but we couldn't do it because of the virus. What do you feel about that, Steve? And
well, I think I'd like to offer this. I'm sorry to just come in here. I think what we're at is this, you know, it's a pleasure to have Steve, to have Charlie here. I don't want either of them to feel, you know, this is not the auspices in which we invited them here to sort of, okay, will you take on a role here? And thank you, Gina, for reminding me. I'd forgotten about the backdrop to the previous meeting. It does ring a bell with me now very much. What I'm going to say is fundraising going forward, I think, David, as you said, is very important to us. And this is going to become a very important role. And I'm just wondering, for instance, you know, would it naturally sit with me, for instance, this sort of role, because it underpins all the other things that we want to do. I'm going to ask, with the committee's permission, that we hold this this role. You know, we don't sort of knee-jerk with something at tonight's meeting, or sort of, you know, kind of, you know, some slightly strong arm people who happen to be here tonight. But we hold over this one, and then we agree an appointment sort of shortly on this one. because it's going to be very, very important, and we need the right person and someone who's very, very willing in this one as well. All right.
To be appointed by management committee.
Sorry, Colin. Yeah.
Yeah. Could I just add, Mohan, while we've got Steve in particular here, the meeting that we had in Cherbourg when we visited, there were lots of ideas, both large and small, including being present at some of the festivals in Cherbourg, and for them to come to some of the festivals here, for which, you know, the modern fundraising would be more appropriate than, you know, what has been, i.e. in heritage grant applications or business grant applications, etc., etc. And so, you know, just to put that on the agenda, that it could be an exciting time, and there are opportunities to fundraise in different ways. So, yeah, I just wanted to get that across while we had Steve with us, really.
Okay. Yeah. Good. Okay.
Could you say something, Steve?
Yeah, I just sort of made some notes as you're talking, because yeah, and it probably connects in slightly. So I think I'm not sure whether it comes under publicity or not, but there's going to be you know, a sign of the times. There's quite a lot of window dressing in the areas of the town, and it almost, you know, and for those that don't know, that's a way of dressing out an empty shop window to make it more attractive. And almost, I think that you know, potentially the bid might be able to look at a window that tells the story of the Twinning Association, just to get it back on the agenda and in people's thoughts. So I think there could be an opportunity of, you know, potentially dressing out an empty shop window, but having some visuals that really support the association, and that works for everyone. Helps the town look a bit better, and it gets the story of the association in front of probably a bigger audience. And then I think, and someone mentioned modern thinking, and you know, even building into that, and you know, I'm seeing lots with window dressing and new ways of giving, shall we say. And it could well be that by having a vinyl with a story, you might build some means of donation in with it as well. Just an idea. I mean, I didn't come tonight with any particular projects in mind, but you know, I just think it lends itself to that. And I think the other interesting bit, and obviously the bid is going for a reballot next year, so it's a bit unknown, but you know, the market scenario, and then sort of bringing bits in, I think builds into the picture, particularly with if next summer we see you know, the part of the quay continue to be closed, etc., etc. So I think it lends itself for that sort of working, you know, between both towns works really well. So you know, I think, you know, with next summer coming and lessons learned from this summer, I think we've probably got from April till probably round to September to do something that Paul hasn't seen probably before or for a number of years, that really benefits everyone, and vice versa. I think, you know, I mean, yeah, I don't bore you about what the bid's doing, but we've got hopefully this weekend, where there's a problem, but we're going to bring the first artisan market to the town on Sunday. We've got 15 to 16 stalls ready to go, and that's something that hasn't happened. And I think we can do the same with traders and that from Cherbourg next summer.
Okay. All of that's really, really good to hear, Stephen. We've got to find a way of kind of sharing this stuff more and understanding how, you know, we can help you, you can help us, etc. Mutually, and you know, the idea of sort of a shop front or something like that with it, and you know, let's sort of explore that idea and see how to make the fullest of it, and it's just really welcome. Okay, yep. Apologies everybody, I know we're doing the sort of the appointment of officers here, but you know, it's really, you know, we just need the ideas, and that's really welcome. Just carrying on, right, so what I've said with the fundraising coordinator, with the committee's permission, is I want to hold on that one, and it's not because it's unimportant, it's completely the opposite. It couldn't be more important, but let's do this one correctly, okay? And I hadn't teed up the, you know, the right appointee for that just yet. Okay, on the sports coordinator side,
sorry, could we just go back to that last one?
Yeah.
So did we ought to pass a motion to say that that appointment should, if made or suitably altered, should be made by the management committee?
We can do, if we need to phrase it like that. We can do.
I think that's the way we've done it before.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Thank you.
To be appointed by the management committee.
Fine. Okay,
and then
good.
And then the AGM have had a hand in how it is
excellent.
Carried out.
Okay, yes, thank you, Giacomo, if you could do that. It's delegated to the management committee to, and we're not having to wait till the next AGM. Good, good. Okay, all right, let's hop on, please. The sports coordinator then. So, David.
I've been doing that for a number of years, and we haven't had much sport coordination between ourselves and Cherbourg for this year, of course, and last year was a big difficulty with the ferry times and things like that. But I think we still could try, and we should continue as best we can on this. And I note that from the Cherbourg councillors got elected in May or June, whenever it was, there is a new sports person on their the councillor looking after sports, as there is for culture, by the way.
Okay. So once again with sound mind and full faculties, David, are you happy to continue?
I will continue at this stage if that's okay with it.
Okay, then thank you. So please, if we need a proposer for David, which I'm very happy to do.
Yes.
And seconder, please.
I'm happy to
Colin.
second again.
Okay, all right. Okay, I think I've got Colin there. All right, going on to the culture coordinator. Okay, now I've got this right, Colin.
I wasn't aware that I was culture.
Oh, hang on, I've got the names wrong. Sorry.
Ron.
Colin, so I've got my titles wrong, have I?
Ron has good connections with the theatre in Poole, and that's been one of the things that we've been able to try to join together, and that would be good if we could continue in that.
Right. Okay. So again, forgive me. I think I've made this mistake before with the culture one, Colin. I'm not on a mischievous mission. I do promise you. So the culture coordinator has been Ron. All right. I think Ron hasn't joined us. I don't think he's with us tonight, is he?
No.
Now formally we can't really sort of reappoint him without his say so or his nod this evening. So let's just assume he is happy to continue. But I think formally we must do what we did with the fun one, which is to say it will be delegated to the management committee to confirm this appointment, and that's a courtesy to Ron just to make sure he's happy with it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and because we don't know, he might be all right, he may not be, and so on, and just but let's do it that way, please. Okay. Good. And last but most certainly not least, language translation. Okay, that be you, Giacomo.
That's better.
Oh, so who spoke?
Unmoved.
I think it's Gina and me actually.
Okay then. Okay. Actually, with this one, Gina, you want to lead on this one?
No. I was just asking Giacomo to unmute herself.
Okay. Yeah, I've just pressed the unmute.
It's all right. We can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Yes, no problem.
All
Are
right.
you happy to be the language?
Well, yes, that's one of my great interests. Yes, that's okay. It's fine.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay. So proposer then. Proposer.
Yes,
Gina.
yes.
That's fine. Seconded. Okay, from me. From me. Lovely. Okay, good. Hey, we got through it. Well done, everyone. All right. Yeah. And just noted that for the culture and for the fundraising, defer to the management committee. We will get those filled, which will be fine. Good. All right. Item 7. Giacomo, are you all right with the minuting of that? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Item 7 then. Look, just the open forum. But what I'd ask is, either we do it here, or if we're going to get into things like, ideas for next year and so on, let's take that formally into the next bit of the agenda. But just thinking now formally of AGM, is there any sort of AOB from sort of the formality of AGM?
Mohan, it's Charlie here.
Yes, hello.
I just wanted to say that if the committee or the members here would be happy, I'm more than happy to continue as the co-opted youth representative.
Okay. All right. All right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm second that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Charlie.
Charlie.
A minute. That good.
I look forward to getting more involved in the upcoming year. Thank you.
Okay. Good. Good. Thank you. Anything else from the AGM side? Anybody? All right. All right. So,
Sorry, Mohan. Just while we've got other members of the public, etc., with us, can I just report on a couple of social media things so that people know that we have been a little bit active and there are facilities in place? Would that be useful?
okay. Yeah. Please. Yeah. If it's within AGM business, yes. Please do.
Just bear with me. So we do have Instagram, Facebook and Twitter accounts, and it would be useful if anybody on the committee or anyone interested does have pages that they want to be included and for us to follow, so we can copy you in. That is how a couple of people have come to the meeting tonight. So just to update that, we've got 112 followers on Instagram, which seems to be the most popular platform at the moment. Only 15 people on Facebook and 108 on Twitter. And just as an example, we reached 71 people with a tweet of our visit to Cherbourg in March. So it's always been work in progress, just to say the potential is there. Things are in place. When we have got events or news, we have got lots of mentions, both sides of La Manche, to copy in, and there is an interest. So they're ready in the background for when we need them.
Okay. Okay.
Can I just add to something that it would be very good if we send out any information on email or any other format to add these links into whatever we send out, so more people are aware that they're there if necessary. Are you with me?
Yeah, they are part of the Poole Twinning Gmail account, which I kind of operate because we need those for the social media sites. But they should really go on Jacquetta's signature so that people have got the contacts.
That's just what I'm trying to point out. Yeah, if we could minute that so that when we can actually get the contacts for people to get back to us somehow.
And then just to inform people of the commitment from the other side, our visit was reported in the local magazine, and they have actually done pop-ups for each town or city that they're twinned with, which we were, very pleasantly surprised to see, weren't we, Mohan? I think.
Indeed.
So yeah, just a little bit of spice to whet our appetite.
No, good, good. Thank you, Colin. And just from that, what you put up there gives no clue as to how much work goes into those things. And I'm more aware now than I used to be 2 years ago. But there is a lot of work in putting those together, maintaining them, and so on. And just to thank you for that. And I know after the visit we had, you put all those things up really quickly as well. So it's most grateful. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. I'm just about to bring our AGM part of the evening to a close, if that's so, going once, going twice. And okay, so we're closed for the AGM, and thank you very much indeed, everyone. We'll proceed now to the management committee meeting. Now,